Oh, this is a long, awkward silence.
What goes bump in Jarl's basement?
Do
You just call this Strodcast?
Strodcast? What?
It's the curse
Yeah.
of Strodcast.
Yeah.
Detective Strodcast.
Oh shit.
That's not hard to do though.
What? No.
I think, yeah, you got us all kinds of confused.
No, he has yeast, right?
Oh, yay!
Close enough. Yeah, there you
Weird fish man.
go.
His sister. It's his sister. I think.
Yes. Whoa. Sorry. An enthusiastic affirmative. Yeah.
Is it?
What? No, not you. I'm talking to them. Jesus, children. I think it's all about them.
It's talking to the noises in Jarl's basement. Okay,
I'm lots and lots of schoolwork. Lots and lots of schoolwork.
Hey. I feel that.
Aside from that, I've been playing a lot of Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
Ooh, carry on. BRB. Hold on. 1 second.
It's actually turned out to be a really good game so far. No, it's actually released. All I gotta say, yeah, all I gotta say is Shane from The Walking Dead plays an awesome freaking bad guy.
Punisher. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, he was in the
He played in
Daredevil
Fury.
and Punisher.
Played in the movie Fury. He's played in a lot of movies.
Yeah, but I figured The Walking Dead would be the first one that everyone would get him from.
Well, it was only the first couple.
Well, I mean, he played a
seasons.
really good person going crazy in that.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, he thought his. Well, never mind. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame him for being crazy.
late?
It's just
Work. Playing a lot of World of Warcraft. And more work. I got my snowblower fixed. I kept going at it. Until
What'd you
it finally
test it
worked.
on?
Huh?
What'd you test it on?
I mean, no, I mean it runs now.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, we're supposed to have flurries this weekend though. Oh God. Shut up. Hush you.
Hey, I'm always nice and warm. Despite my wife's best efforts. It's like 32 degrees outside. She's like, why don't you turn on the air conditioner?
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
If it's not 90 plus, I am not happy.
Ooh, Tap is pouring something out of a clear bottle.
It's apple juice.
Sure.
It's apple juice.
Not a whole lot. Bunch of work all the darn time. A lot of Destiny 2 since its new DLC Shadowkeep released. Loving it. Have realized OBS does not like to try and capture that game for whatever reason. So otherwise,
Really?
I probably would. Yeah, never been able to get it to capture Destiny 2. Otherwise, I would have been streaming it all week. So, however, I think if I get a capture card, that'll capture it. So, more money.
Well, I mean, I get my money back if it doesn't.
Good. I've been having internet issues the last couple weeks in terms of my download speed's fantastic. My upload speed has been garbage. So, even small games have just been plummeting. I don't have dial. I actually have pretty decent internet. It's just
He has 2 cans tied together with the stream.
we had a big old storm a couple weeks ago, and it did something to the internet company. And they finally got it fixed, so now I'm like, yay, I can stream again. You know, or so they say, yeah. All right.
That's net zero for you.
All right, honest truth, there was a cat sitting on my string. All right, so it made things difficult. I didn't want to move the cat because it looked very ferocious.
Poke him with a stick. It's always best.
I don't know. It looked like it could probably eat the stick.
Shoot. Whole lot of the same stuff. But man, everything has been D&D and then school. So I have my other IRL campaign. They've kind of hit a crucial point. So that's been pretty fun. I've been crafting a lot of stuff for that. I crafted a little. We talked about it last week. That little camp. I had a lot of extra. I have a lot of extra plywood, so I'm actually going to be using magnets and clay and that plywood to make magnetic dungeon tiles because I just
Ooh.
have time for that right now. Literally, I mean, so but the here coming up soon. I mean, we just passed midterms, or we're in the middle of midterms technically at school. And I should be I will be graduating in December, so I'm gonna start making calls and making plays, trying to get lined up for a job. So that's coming up pretty soon. Other than that, though, like I said, just pretty much all D&D. I mentioned to you, I can't remember when, but I got into Adventurers League at our local shop, so I'm actually able to play a bit of 5e, and they're nice little 2-hour sessions, so it's not overwhelming me with too much stuff, but it's kind of nice to get the player's perspective, and it's the newer module Descent into Avernus, so that's kind of cool. Starting to ramp up things for Stack Up. If you guys are familiar, if you guys have been around me or my hit or miss channels at all, Stack Up is the nonprofit that helps veterans and active duty through gaming, and I lead the local chapter of that for my city. And we're ramping up for a new schedule in 2020 where we'll be having game nights monthly. So we're gonna have a lot more consistency. So I'm excited about that too. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, make sure. What?
Just say yes. Nod your head, say yes. It'll be fine.
Yep.
All right. Welcome back. Been excited. So we're gonna get right into it. Make sure I can hear you. Who are you talking to? Okay.
Whew.
We good? Okay. Get right into it. We can jump right into the narrative here. So you had awoken in the inn, and you ordered up some breakfast, or at least Yeast did. Ismark had approached you again and kind of apologized for your initial encounter and was kind of disjointed and confusing. And then had requested that you help escort his sister Irina to a town called Valaki. So you accepted with the caveat that you want to detour to find the so-called Madame Eva, who is more or less on the way to that town. So Ismark agrees to your terms, and he leaves and promises he'll be back. He leaves to fetch his sister Irina and promises he'll be back in about a half an hour. So as he finishes up his breakfast and you guys open the door to the tavern out onto the street again, and it seems a little more, the town seems a little more alive with some activity and population, and a handful of folks are kind of sauntering around the streets. It's still kind of we'll call it the Monday shuffle. But there are women carrying buckets to fetch water from the well, and a small group of men stand on the street edge, suited up for a hunting expedition and other such things. And one villager catches your eye, and she's fairly ugly, but seems to have a sweet disposition. Old little lady is walking door to door with a little cart, and she's selling pies. And as she comes down, she's about a couple houses away, and then she finishes up her transaction there, and she's at the house next to you, and no one had answered, so she sees you guys. You just exited out the hold on, let me pull up. Oh, we'll worry about this in a minute. But you just exited the tavern and are waiting for Ismark's return. And she asks, "Oh, dearies, would you like to buy one of my pies? They're only 1 gold piece each."
That's really expensive for a pie.
Is it a special pie?
Oh, but yes, believe me, these are, not only are they quite scrumptious, but if I do say so myself, but they will give you the sweetest dreams you've ever had, which, if I must say, is a nice respite in such a cursed climate.
There's a whole new meaning to a pot pie.
Please hold all your jokes until the end of the dialogue. Thank you.
Ma'am? Can't really tell. Are they meat
Yes?
pies?
Yes, we have some meat pies, and I have.
Whose meat?
I also. Well, there are all manner of creatures around here, boars and
Judges, can you
sometimes
say that?
wolves and what? I'm sorry. And we also have pumpkin pie as well, and some other sweeter treats as well.
Can we haggle on that price there? That's a little expensive. I mean, 1 gold piece seems quite a lot. Is this for like a charity or an organization, or is this just for you?
Oh, it helps keep an old lady on her feet.
I mean, you seem to be staying on your feet pretty darn well. I mean, you clearly aren't going to go hungry. You have all these pies.
Well, Well, listen, Sonny. Yeah, you either would you like a pie or you would not. I care not one way or the other.
I mean, I'm
Just
tempted
thought
to
I'd
buy a
offer.
pie, but that is a lot of money for one pie.
I just toss the old lady a coin, a gold coin, and say,
Do it.
there's your pie yeast.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, bless you, dearie, bless you. And she hands you a neatly wrapped meat pie.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're most welcome. Enjoy. And she kind of bustles her cart along.
I'm just gonna look at the Minotaur and be like, I'm gonna eat this now. If I explode, kill her. So I'm just gonna dive into the pie.
Great. Okay. All right. So you had just eaten breakfast. Now you're very full. Yeah. So
Worst case scenario, I'll just puke up the breakfast, eat the pie, and then eat the breakfast later.
yeah. Well, you've kind of got a little bit of like a food coma. You're very so. For the time being, you'll just have -1 to perception. So perception checks because you're kind of you're
Okay.
stuffed, right? All right.
It's a lot
okay,
of pie
so
for a
is-
little goblin.
But that was no fault of the pies other than that's a lot of carbs and calories you just took in. So okay, so Ismark returns about 10 minutes late, and he comes up to you and says, I apologize, and it's just him, it's his sister's not with him. He says, my sister Irina will not leave our home for a couple reasons. One, the major one is she will not leave until our father is properly buried, as he recently passed, and right now he's still in our home. And also she will not leave with strangers she does not know, especially if she's not sure where their loyalties lie. If you could just come to my home and talk to my sister, convince her we need to go. I mean, time is of the essence here. And I promise her I will bury our father when I return. Her safety is my utmost concern, but she will not leave until this is taken care of. But at the very least, if she can at least meet you and see that you are real and that you're willing to help keep her safe, I think that would help.
Awkward silence.
I mean, I'm in a food coma, so I'm just sitting on
I'm
the
still
steps.
messed
just-
up from the meat pies. That whole discussion, it scarred me.
What, you haven't picked up on the fact that
Did you
like
try a
to eat-
club?
Yeah, if you knew my sister, you would understand that is not enough to dissuade her.
Is she a big
No.
lady?
No, that's the problem. You're trying to dissuade her. Use the club to persuade her.
Verbiage,
You didn't want to feed her a meat pie.
I'm sorry, what? Wait, what?
The lady that's selling meat pies over there.
Oh yeah. Granny, she
Yeah.
moves through town and sells her pies.
So the question: how long has the father been dead?
So, okay, and he kind of motions you to the side of the street so you're not really, we can kind of inform you what's been going on, rather discreetly. And he said, listen, I told you this place is dangerous, and why I want to deliver my sister's safety for weeks, though it feels like much longer. Our state has been the target of nightly attacks from rabid beasts and ghouls. The
Ghouls?
constant assault. I'm sorry?
Ghouls?
Yes, all manner of undead ghouls and the like. And rabid beasts and werewolves, and it's been harrowing, to say the least. And the constant assault was just too much for our father's heart, and it finally gave up on him. But 3 nights ago, oddly enough, we haven't really been attacked since, but has left the brittle bones of our house scarred and broken.
Your house is made of bone?
No, that's a figure of speech. Just
Oh.
shut up and look pretty.
I'm goblin. It's kind of hard to do, but I'll try. Just gonna wipe pie off my face.
So the attack stopped after your father passed away.
Yes.
Okay, well, this case is solved.
So, yes, but the case of my sister and our father, our deceased father, still remains.
So, wow. We come here looking for, we get dragged here, and now we got to go and dig a grave.
I mean, it's not the first one I've dug.
I was gonna ask, what does properly
Buried.
ceremony look like? Is that digging a hole, putting him in it, or is that burning him?
No, so the funeral procession and all of those details will be handled by our elder of the church. We don't expect you to dig any graves by any means. Just these are the terms, and my sister, she will not leave our house, and yet I must get my sister to safety. The town is but just across, or the church is just but across town, and if we can deliver our father safely to the church, and then I'm sure once he is there, then she will be content enough that he is in good care, his body is in good care of the clergy, and then we can be on our way.
Do you have a cart?
Of course, yes, of course.
All right then.
For the father or for the sister?
For me. I'm full of pie. I'm not walking.
All
I
right,
guess you could
so
use it for the body.
We'll get the body to the church, and she'll leave with us, or we'll forcefully evict her.
Those would happen to be your options. Preferably, though, if we can deliver our father safely, that would be ideal.
Oh, yeah, they'll start with that, and if she doesn't come, then I resort to using a club.
Sounds about right.
Very well. If you will just at least meet my sister as well. As I said, she doesn't want to travel with people she's never seen before. If we can at least just make her acquaintance, and we can take things one step at a time here.
I mean, we can go meet her. I don't think it's gonna go well.
She may surprise you yet.
I mean, we have a giant cow, a strange fish, and a small green man. We're not
Believe me,
your
the
everyday-
horrors that we've seen from this land, my sister and I'm sure she will be okay. Maybe taken a little aback by the cow, but
I resemble that remark.
Indeed, you do.
I like how Drakmir is the unusual one and not Gaiagan.
Right?
well, he doesn't. You don't have like crazy appendages right now yet, do you?
I mean, I have, like, gills.
Okay.
And,
Well,
like,
yeah,
blue
that would be
skin
weird.
And weird ears. But no, I don't have any, like, crab hands or anything yet.
If I cut off your hand, will you get a crab hand?
We might have to find out. Oh, wait. Sorry.
I'd like to see the goblin try.
I have 5 daggers on me. I got many chances.
Yeah, you're also shorter and don't run as far.
True. Very true.
Just go eat your pie.
I did.
Throw it up and into the gym.
Anyhow, so let's go meet this lady.
I agree.
Very well. He said our house is just to the south of town here. So if you guys pull up the village map that we had kind of been working off of.
Oh my. Village of Barovia. That one.
Yes.
Boop. There it is.
You see my little marker there.
Maybe. Oh, gotta figure out how to move on this thing.
Which page is it on? Where's it at here?
There it is.
I don't necessarily need you to configure all your tokens on this right now.
I actually don't see tokens.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they shouldn't be.
Yeah, no, the tokens and nothing are on there, but yeah, I can see your little symbol there.
Okay, so I was just gonna show you. So you were here. It should be right in the center, kind of square.
Yep.
Okay, so
square.
right here.
Oh.
So you guys were here at the tavern
Mhm.
or inn, and you guys make your way down the street here, and you see at the end of the road, facing you, is a weary looking mansion that just squats behind a rusting iron fence. The iron gates are twisted and torn and bent and battered, and the right gate actually lies cast aside on the ground. It's actually just broken completely off.
Nice.
And the left gate just kind of swings in the wind. The starting squeal and clang of the gate repeats with mindless precision, just constant. And weeds are everywhere, just kind of choking up what little grass is trying to grow. It's kind of a pathetic sight. And against the walls, you see that around against the outer walls of the house, the weeds and the bit of grass and in the mud there's a bunch of different types of footprints, and it's all kind of trampled down and flat. And heavy claw marks have stripped the house. Had to have at one time been very beautiful, but now there's burn marks and many claw marks that have just scratched the walls, and also all the windows and anything that was in the windows, all the glass has been broken. So everything's been broken out of the windows, and you see makeshift barricades and stuff like that blocking those windows. And most of them are completely boarded up with planks. So as you approach, Ismark asks you to wait just at the foot of the porch there at the steps, and he walks up and does a little pattern of tap on the door, and you hear a voice from inside and says, "Who is it?" And he said, "It's your brother. It's Ismark." And he said, "I've brought help." And a little board moves aside from the window. You see her little woman's face kind of peek out, and she looks past Ismark and then looks at him, and she says, "Who are these people?" And he explains to her that you guys came in, you're visitors to the land, you're new, and but out of all the people that are in the town, you're the only able-bodied people that could help. And he explains again the situation, and then after a few more hushed whispers, he calls you guys up onto the porch, so you guys can actually meet her. And when you're close enough that you can actually talk, she introduces herself and says, "Yes, I'm Irina Kolyana. And who might you all be?"
I am Yes. Or Yeast.
Yes or yeast? Yeast, okay.
Yeast.
And yeah, and the rest of you.
That 10-foot cow. That's shit.
Drakmir.
She's-
I can't even remember names.
Drakmir. I am
Yeah, that
Drakmir.
guy.
With all
And
of the
pretty guy
drinking
over
we've
my left
done,
shoulder over here. That's Gyagan. And
That
He's
I.
a fish.
I am not a fish.
I think you are. You have gills.
That's your banter. She's okay. Well, we really don't have much time for this.
Little
So
green
she
turd
says,
on the
I
top.
have no other choice really right now but to trust my brother, which means I trust you. And so she shuts the little board to the window and opens the door and moves some things aside. And she says, my father's body is in here. We must deliver him safely to the church. And before I will go anywhere.
Alrighty.
All right, get
Where's
the wagon.
Yeah, where's the cart?
Okay, so this is little more than say like a wheelbarrow. It's not a horse cart. They don't have any horses or anything, but it's enough to fit their father's body without it like trying to have to
Crumple.
yeah. And Ismark, he says I'll take care of escorting our father.
What? I was gonna lash it to the cow.
no.
I was thinking it, but I wasn't gonna say it.
Okay, so if you all are ready, we can take off. It's just north up the street, just right on the other edge of town.
Alright,
On the
yeah,
edge
I'm
of
good
town.
to go.
Lead the way.
Okay, so if you look at the map again, you're just gonna head. They're gonna head straight north, back through the town square, and cut a little bit northwest. And as you approach you see a building just outside the edge of the actual rows of houses, and atop a slight rise against the roots and from behind the church, looming in a great distance, but up in the northwest, you see the spire rise above the treetops, and you see this jagged, ominous castle up on a huge spire of rock. And you see that kind of just looming above not only the church but the town of Barovia here. The church has obviously weathered assaults of same evil creatures from that you saw, the same markings and stuff that you saw on Ismark and Irina's father's estate. And so as you're approaching the church again, you see a bell tower rises towards the back of the church, and there's a flickering light that shines through that in the shingled roof there.
Do I recognize any kind of denomination of the church?
I don't believe so, and this may be something I'm not sure, like from your backstory either, what you would know as far as religion.
Yeah, I mean anything that I would recognize.
No, not anything that you would recognize as far as Forgotten Realms deities or anything of that nature, really. So, okay, there we go. So yeah, the church is in just as bad a shape, really, as the old house was that you just came from. As you approach the church, the doors are shut, and no one really seems to come out to greet you. And while most churches look like they should be a sanctuary or a beacon of hope of some kind, this one definitely looks, again, quite disheveled. So, and again, the wooden doors that are shut to the church are covered with claw marks and are also scarred by fire. So Ismark tells you, he says, the village priest, Donovich, he lives here. We should go in, and we need to find him, and we can safely deliver the body then to him. As he walks up, he kind of knocks on the door, and there's no real answer. And he knocks again, and at that point, he goes ahead and opens the door. Let's see here. Go.
Whoa.
Map.
Okay, so when he opens the door's open to reveal a 10-foot wide, 12-foot long hall leading to an actually brightly lit chapel. The hall is itself, though, is unlit, and it just kind of reeks of mildew and mold. 4 doors, though, exist, 2 on each side of the hallway, which lead to adjacent chambers there. You can see that the chapel is strewn with debris, and pews are broken, although some of them somewhat remain intact. And you can hear echoing and softly echoing out the front door of the church there, a man's voice reciting a prayer.
Is it
Suddenly,
some-
though, in the middle of this man's little chant, you hear a muffled scream that rises up from beneath the church floor.
Huh.
My pickaxe is in my hand.
I look at Ismark and I go, is this normal?
Typically, no. I don't believe a church should have blood-curdling screams coming from their basement.
Okay.
That's
I'm gonna run
all
in.
we needed to know.
Yeah. Perhaps we should see. This is odd indeed. If Donovich is obviously in there, he's praying, but someone is obviously in there screaming. We should see what's going on.
I'm gonna go running in and say, "Oi, priest!"
He immediately stops there. In his prayer. 1 second here, and let's.
I'm gonna turn that off.
Which one, down here or up?
Yeah.
Hold on, navigation's a little odd. Nope, that's not what I needed.
Hey, he's being a little odd.
Okay. So as you run in, you're like, and oi priest, he stops but he's not too startled. He kind of slowly looks up from his prayer, and you can tell he's kind of a little weak. It looks like he might not have eaten for a few days. It looks like he's been praying for a long time. Again, as you walk in, the chapel is in shambles, overturned, broken pews. There are dozens of unlit candles that are kind of mounted on candelabras and pedestals. And as he stands up, you can see that his vestments, his clothes and robes are quite soiled as well. And next to him is a long rope that stretches up into the bell tower for the church bell. As you say that, and he stops again, and the chanting is stopped, and you guys aren't quite conversing yet, you hear again from underneath the floorboards, you hear a voice that says, "Father, I'm starving!"
Who's that?
Yeah, we're gonna have to go in and find out what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
Find out who put
he's
Becky in the
quite exhausted, and Ismark is kind of like, Father, Father Donovich, trying to address him, and he's quite, like I said, he's quite exhausted. And he says, yes, my son. And he kind of slumps down into a pew, and he just kind of points, 1 second, points to a floorboard and says, my son. And as he's pointing down to the floor.
So I go to where he points.
Okay. Let me see. Put you guys on here. Let me also rephrase. I wasn't necessarily pointing to a specific floorboard, just pointing towards the floorboards beneath him.
That's fine. I go in that general
yeah.
direction to see if I can find what we're looking for.
This guy. Friendly.
I'm assuming you have a door or a latch or something that goes down there so I don't have to hack up your floor.
So yes. Actually, 1 second. My God. There we go. 1 second.
I mean, I'm not all for destroying churches, but
You will not.
not against it either.
Okay,
if
I
it's
got it.
absolutely necessary.
Okay. Okay, so he points, he had pointed to the floor and said, my son, and you said, yes, we're gonna have to check this out. And he said, yes, in the front room there. It's in the front room over there. And he points back in, I'm gonna use Drakmir as points back in this direction.
Okay. Then that's where I go.
Okay. There are 4 doors there, and they're all shut. The one in front of you is shut.
All right.
There we go.
You.
So I'm assuming you're opening the door then to the room.
Yes. Yes.
So you open the door to the room, and you see again, time and neglect have punched holes in the ceiling of the moldy room, which contains a few broken roof shingles amid puddles of water where rain has just poured through freely. And in one corner, set into the floor, is a heavy wooden trap door that was held shut with a chain and a padlock.
Move.
And you hear the screams again, and there are they leak through this trapdoor quite freely. This is obviously the way down.
Well,
What?
that's not ominous at all.
Dark lit, light lit. How's it lit?
It's fairly dim. There aren't really any lit candles or anything. It is mid-morning, about midday, so there is some light coming in, but again, it's not bright sunshine. It's very much overcast, so there is a bit of light.
Okay. Well, then let's just head down there.
Okay, it does have a thick chain with a padlock on it.
Oh, so
I'll come try to pick it.
I was like, Agan, you want this one, or should I break out my lockpick kit?
All right. That's a sleight of hand, right?
Yes, and you have thieves' tools, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
ooh, shiny.
Oh yeah. Okay, so you deftly kind of spring, you know, spring sound, spring, and it clicks open for you. As soon as you remove the padlock and you drag the chain from its rung there that was holding it shut to the floor, when you open the trap door, the screams from the basement stop.
That's definitely not good.
Yeah, somebody put baby in the corner.
I mean,
Donovich,
baby sounded
at-
like a grown man, so.
At this point, Donovich has shuffled up closer to you, and is kind of saying, "You shouldn't go down there. Please don't. Let's leave my son to his fate here."
You're a priest. Why are you saying leave?
You are a terrible man of the cloth, and this is coming from a goblin who worships a devil.
He says,
You should
"I
feel bad.
leave him in my hands. It's in my hands."
You are in no shape for us to leave him in your hands.
I mean, is he small enough to go in your hands, or?
Well, either way, he's gonna follow. As you guys, when you go down, he's gonna kind of follow you down. He's gonna follow behind you as you descend underneath the church,
Okay.
which I assume you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, as we go down, I'm sort of just gonna put myself behind him. Because he seems a little shady, and I want to keep an eye on him.
I mean, I'm assuming that the stairs aren't wide enough for Drakmir and I to walk side by side.
Let me bring this up here.
I can slip in.
And I could just ride on someone's shoulders too.
No, you can't. You're walking.
Okay.
You little green turd.
What? What have I done to you, Mr. Fishman?
Yeah.
You guys can go ahead and drag your markers over. The map continues on to the right.
Ah.
There you go.
Now, Jarl, on this map, I want you to point out where the sound from your basement came from.
About there, and one right there. Yeah, there's a lot.
So
I'm assuming
as
he
you
came with
guys
us, right?
descend into the church's undercroft, you see it has just rough hewn walls and a floor made of damp clay and earth. It's an unfinished basement, if you will, and rotten wooden pillars are kind of sagging, straining under the weight of the floor of the church. A candlelight does not. There is not much candlelight from here, but through the rafters you have again some of the daylight. It's for D&D purposes. It's dimly lit down here as well. That bit of light allows you, which I believe almost all of you have dark vision, anyways, right? Either way,
I do.
in the
Yeah.
dim light allows you to make, if you have dark vision, you see it quite clearly, and if not, you see mostly just a silhouette in that northwest corner of a gaunt figure there in the corner. Man, I wish they would put everything you need in one spot for you to find
very,
it all.
very, like mockingly, your holiness, is that your son?
He hangs his head and just barely noticeably just kind of nods his head like yes.
Okay, can I get him, maybe grab him by the scruff of his neck or whatever, and push him? He's gonna go in first.
Oh, the priest?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. He's
Yeah.
not really gonna resist you.
Yeah, he's going in first.
So if you're shoving him even the size bit really forcefully, he's gonna stumble.
No, not forcefully. Just he's going first. I don't want to hurt him, but I just want him, to make sure he knows that he can't cower behind us, and this is his son, so he needs to be handling this.
So as you do that, and as you guys are making your way down the stairs, you can kind of hear as you're walking down, you kind of hear like a and then it stops. And then as you guys all make your way into the undercroft, you hear him and he stops and he says, "I can smell your blood." You hear that
You're
from
a real
the
charmer,
corner.
aren't you?
And so as you push Donovich forward, he says, "Son, please, don't do anything that you'll regret here."
What is going on?
Okay, can I stealth?
Yeah,
Okay.
you'll go ahead and roll for it.
Poof.
Success. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so you're hidden. So, essentially, so Donovich finally caves and concedes to explain to you that his son is actually a vampire spawn of Lord Strahd, the plague from Castle Ravenloft, and he believes that instead of mercifully killing his son when he had taken him, he believes that he was sent back to torment Donovich, and for all his prayers and all his intercession and all his efforts, he has been unable so far to save the soul of his son. But he still remains hopeful and believes. He says that he believes if he just prays hard enough and is contrite, enough, that the gods will have mercy on his son.
You are blind.
He said, "Tired, yes. Blind, I don't believe."
No, you
I
are
don't-
you are blind to the situation.
What do you plan to do to my son?
Make him re-dead.
What needs to happen?
So
What you should have done.
he, at that point, please don't. He's kind of as much in I don't want to say frenzy or panic, because he's very exhausted, but he's pleading you, please don't kill my son. He can still be saved. He can still be saved. Please don't kill my son.
I'm just gonna look at him and I'm just gonna pull out one of my mini daggers and just hold it out to him and be like, look, either we can do it and it will not be pretty, or you can do the right thing and you can do it. Still won't be pretty, but you'll feel better.
So I look at Yeast and I go, put that away, and I pull out one of my sharpened wooden stakes.
Okay.
So at this point, Donovich just kind of starts softly sobbing and just kind of does the whole hits the wall and kind of just sinks down and sits on the edge of the wall and just kind of starts lightly crying at his failed efforts and realizing that his son is completely lost. You guys are gonna try to kill him. So, if you are moving in to kill him, you must roll for initiative.
Yay!
Let me remove.
Nice.
He's not gonna
Bregdorn's still
Okay.
feeling some intoxication, I
I
see.
thought I
No,
rolled
no.
out
I
for
just
so
wanted
much.
you guys to have an opportunity to kill something for a change.
Oh, I see. I see.
All right.
I'm just saying, I'm pretty sure I dealt with 4 of the 5 guys last time.
Hey, I helped. I made them tumble down the stairs.
All right.
One of them.
Okay, so as you guys start kind of moving around and you're obviously kind of moving towards his son in the corner, which by the way he had mentioned his name is Doru. His son's name is Doru, which you can see on the little token there. But he kind of does a golem, and kind of tries to skirt around. He's very jittery. And with that, actually, yeah, Drakmir, you're the first to go.
Well, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That your normal move is what I can move and still attack, right? So if I've got a 30 move, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna actually break out my crossbow.
Okay.
If I can find it here. There it is. And miss. Okay.
So let's see, crossbow, yeah. So you shoot the pling, and the bolt hits the wall by him, and he lets out kind of another frenzy, like, ha! And he kind of, almost on all fours, like I said, kind of Gollumish, scurries kind of to the side.
Okay.
Not as an actual movement, but
All right.
and yeah, east. It's
I'm
on
gonna
you.
move. I'm gonna move there, so I have a nice little line of sight on him. I'm just gonna Eldritch blast him in the, hopefully in the face.
Yes.
Gotta remember how to do this. Control left click or
Just yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Control click.
okay, and then boop. Nope, that ain't it. I will remember this eventually. God, how did I do this the first time?
So once you click on him, then you should just find your spell and should just be able to roll right there.
Don't have the roll button. I'm in the wrong mode. No. Where's the dice? The dice has disappeared. There was a dice on it.
So on the very bottom, you should see a mode down there.
Yeah, I'm in combat mode.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't have a dice. What?
There should.
Is there a magnifying glass by it?
There. Oh, there it is. There it is.
Okay.
Okay. Boop. Aha.
Hit.
And bam.
So the basement lights up with a green flash of eldritchness. Your Eldritch Blast, streaks through, and it's just a straight line straight towards him, and it catches him in the shoulder, and he lets out kind of one of those dual pitch kind of roar screams for a second in pain. And it is.
You need to hit the finish button at the bottom of the combat tracker, Jarl.
Bottom left. Turn complete.
Ah, all
There
right.
you go.
There you go. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move right here, and I'm gonna hold my action until he moves into my range.
Okay. Which brings it then to him. Whoops. How'd that happen? What's happening? There we go.
Now we're in round 3.
Woo. We all just stood there and stared menacingly at each other.
Okay. Let's see here. Nope. He's going to go ahead and move up. Let's see. You're still stealth, correct?
Right.
Sorry, keeping track of a few things here. So, Drakmir is really the one that he can see right now, and you were the last one. Well, no, you're the closest one that did anything to try to harm him. He's gonna kind of skirt along this wall, behind this pillar here, and try to slash his claws at you. Make sure. There we go. And he successfully connects with his claws and hits you for 6 damage. And as he kind of brings his claws around, before they completely kind of rip through your flesh there, it brings him in a little closer, and he tries to bite you as well.
Ooh.
Ow!
Damn.
Let's see.
Oh, you
I'm
didn't
not sure.
target
Okay.
Dracomir.
And this one will hit you. Wow, for a lot. So you're in bad shape, and he caught a hold of you, and he thawed you, and at the same time brought you around and just chomped his ravenous
You're pathetic.
fangs around you. So he hasn't eaten in quite a while, so he's pretty feral at this point.
Well, I'll just sit here and.
Oh dear,
And bleed
the
out.
big one went down. Oh
Okay. From that point, it is up to Bragdorn. Save the day.
All right, first thing I'm gonna do, because I just watched, my drinking buddy go down, I'm going to rage.
Appropriate.
And I'm gonna run up here, and I'm going to attempt to cleave him in half with a great axe.
Okay.
Whoa, what the?
Bragdorn's upset.
Just a little bit.
Nice.
And does that take in? It rolls double damage automatically, or do you roll again?
No, it rolled. It rolled.
Yeah, it rolled.
Okay. Okay.
So the green die you see there,
Yeah.
that's the double damage for the critical.
Gotcha. Okay.
Although it should actually be 19.
As far as his wounds?
No, like the total damage dealt should be 19 because rage gives me +2 damage.
And that didn't.
So it says there that it should have effects +2, but it didn't actually add it because the first roll was a 7, the second, because it's a 1 plus my strength, which is 6, so it
Right.
comes out to 7. The second one was a 10, which is 17, but it should still have the +2 for
Plus 2,
rage,
so 19. So he partially resisted.
which means 9.
Right.
Let's see. Okay. So. Can I add to that? So.
So you just go to his damage on the combat tracker,
And just
and then
type it in.
yeah, put in whatever +2 or +1 in this case.
Okay. And remind me real quick, on your view of the combat tracker, how much of his stats are you able to see?
We can
We
see
see
his
his-
order, and everything else says wounded.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for us, it's just what he rolled for initiative and then a general status.
Okay, I was curious because I've got a lot of information here, and I was just wondering what
Yeah. No.
you guys had access to. Okay. Okay. So Bragdorn successfully rages and just connects with his great axe, and although it connects and there's a solid as his axe hits his the body of this emaciated vampire spawn. It still doesn't feel like it does as much as it should, but he definitely still felt it. Lets out another just famished cry of pain, and it is back around to Dracmir. Now you'll know how to do the so you
It does it
succeeded
automatically.
on one of your death
Yeah,
saves.
as soon as it comes to his turn, it automatically rolls the death save.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So it's
And then it's back around to Yeast.
Awesome. Let's see, we're gonna go there, so I have a better line of sight now. And button. Attempt to Eldritch Blast him once again. Crap. Well,
Miss.
well done.
Boop.
All right. So now, still, I'm sneaking up over here, and because he is flanked, I'm going with advantage. So I'll have sneak attack as well. Slicing at him. Okay. So then that damage, and then that damage.
Great. Okay.
So 7 damage total to him.
And you're using a
rapier.
rapier, correct?
Yep.
Or rapier. I never knew how to say that. Okay. So you jumped
I'm
and you
aiming
got
for the heart, where I think his heart would be.
Right.
Like from the back of him, because he was facing towards Bragdorn.
Okay, yeah. Well, you're close, but you didn't quite land your mark exactly where you wanted to. But again, at this point, this dude has been skewered, slashed a few times, and he's crying out in kind of a famished fury. But at the same time, he's starting to. There's kind of some panic in his eyes as you popped out of the shadows. He got hit again by another Eldritch Blast in front of him, and you kind of closed. Bragdorn closed the distance there. So he's starting to. You're seeing some kind of a bit more desperation, if there even could be a next level of desperation for this dude. Let's see. So. Okay. So at this point, in an attempt to get away, try to save himself, he's going to use his spider climb ability. He's going to climb up the walls real quick, and tries to make his way across the ceiling to get back this direction.
Okay, so he's going out of our threat range.
Well, he's going to disengage to try to get away. And so he moves back. Let's see, he'll move back. He'll move about right there.
So even though he climbed up a wall, I mean, I forget how disengage works. Even though he climbed up a wall, do these guys get attack of opportunity?
No. Disengage prevents the attack of opportunity.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Yeah. So that's going to be his turn. He's at this point. He's kind of like, I'm a little overwhelmed here.
So is he on the ground again?
Yeah. As he gets to the point where he wanted to, he kind of flips around and kind of like hangs for a second and then drops down to the ground to try to hide in the shadows again. Which him trying to hide has not happened successfully. So it's Bragdorn's turn again.
Yeah, we're gonna repeat last time.
I would like to rage.
Oh Jesus!
Oh, I got to repeat last time. Nice. Fantastic.
Ow.
That was easy.
+2. So 9 total.
Sorry, I was looking at the notes there. So you said 9, 9 total?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, no. 17 halved. So it's 8.5 damage. I don't know if you round up or down, so.
Well, no,
Down.
because the rage, that's not.
Yeah,
Can't-
so you
can
add
he
the plus
completely
2 to the...
resist the rage?
Yeah, because it's added to the total. So that's a total of 17. You half that, you
Okay.
get 8.5.
That's okay. We'll keep rolling. I'll add
Just 8.
a couple here. Here we go. Okay. Well done. Bragdorn charges. Oh hell no! Comes back in with his great axe, and So, because the quickness of rounds, you actually kind of just as he crawls over you, you kind of are running under him,
Like
and
Morpheus catching Neo with a kick to the chest.
yeah, as he drops back down to the floor, as he's dropping and connect with him, and they'll actually kind of knock him back a little bit and into the wall, and he kind of topples over on his side. At this point, he's kind of going fetal, curled up, and is kind of like no, looking quite pathetic at this point. And it is Dragmir's turn and succeeds at
Hey,
another
there you go.
death save.
Yay, me!
Yay.
The cow
Hey.
is down.
I'm gonna just scoot here and attempt to sort of guard the stairway in case he tries to make a
Good,
break for
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna hopefully hit him this time. And here we go. Yay!
Oh, wait, so, Axe, did you move back?
No.
No, he got flung. Doru got flung a bit.
How did it get flung?
So,
he got knocked
just
backwards a bit.
situational.
Oh.
So as he was
Oh, okay,
dropping down
gotcha.
from the ceiling,
Oh,
Ragnar
okay.
had fallen and just kind of came in with an uppercut with his great axe and caught him. So it knocked him against the wall, but it also knocked him to the ground.
Gotcha.
Got
Okay.
5 damage on that little vampire spawn there.
Alright. So 30 gets me right there.
So is he prone?
Yeah, at this point he's
So it's advantage.
lying on his side, kind of fetal.
I feel kind of bad. He's just lying there and feels
so-
and just shot him.
If he's prone in the upper right hand corner, you have the one of those is the status effects.
Oh, that's right. Okay, status effects.
That way, then when Gaiagan rolls his attack, it automatically does everything that's.
Related.
So I could still roll advantage
That's not what
though,
I wanted.
right?
That is
Well,
what I wanted.
it's going to automatically roll advantage. He's prone.
Where is? Is it the head with the dots above it?
No, that's it should be the
Oh wait, here we
man
go.
with a little aura.
Dun dun dun.
Where do I add that from? I mean, I have a blank
just-
line.
You just drag and drop prone onto his thing on the combat tracker.
Yeah, where are those effects at?
Oh, in the upper right hand corner, it's the dude with like an aura.
Oh, you said that, yeah. Mm,
There you go.
Hey, thank you. Learn something new every day.
Okay. So
Okay.
I don't need to roll advantage then.
Correct.
Okay. So I've got him targeted, yes. 17's a hit. Rapier damage. And then sneak attack because I have advantage. So total of 8.
Okay. Let's see who.
Again, I'm still just trying to pierce the heart where the heart should be anyway.
Okay. So, at that point, with he's lying on the ground, and he's kind of in his fetal position. It was very easy for you. You're standing over him, and just kind of deftly you just stab, and you kind of a coup de grace. You stab him directly through the heart, and it kind of goes straight through, and just for a second just kind of pins him to the ground. You step on his body and just pull your rapier back out, and at this point he is appears to be limp and lifeless. And in the corner over here, where did he go? I pulled him off the tracker. Yeah. Donovich is here in the corner, and he kind of stands up, and he says, "So it's done then, I suppose. You've done what I could not."
We get 2 steps left.
2 steps.
And guy
say
looks at Bragdorn's like, what?
Hey, you remove the head, you burn the body. It's a vampire.
He looks again at Bragdorn. What?
He said, so at that, he says, if you're going to desecrate my son's body, I'm going upstairs. I'm not going to be a part of it.
We want to talk about desecration.
At this point, he's kind of, he's walking up the stairs. As he walks up the stairs, so at this point, during the fight, because of his concern for his sister, Ismark had been kind of, they had been up in the hall of the church, and as Donovich makes his way back upstairs, you can hear them kind of talking, and he explained what Donovich has explained to Ismark what happened, and Ismark starts negotiating and asks him, so I know this is a tough time, but our father must be buried as soon as possible. And Donovich says, I shouldn't bury him tonight, but I will bury him first thing in the morning in the cemetery behind the church.
Okay, does anybody got anything to bring me back up?
I was about to say we should probably go stabilize
No,
the
I mean, you can. What to do is do a medicine check to stabilize you.
I can give it a go.
I say, as much as I'm loath to say this, but I'm pretty sure the goblin's better at this than any of us.
I got a whole whopping +1 in it. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, I couldn't figure out how to roll the skills last time.
So on the right, next to the dragon's head, there's the total with the itty bitty die. Just double click that.
Double click it. Aha! Got a 14.
And let's see, what do we compare that? It didn't do anything like automatically for him.
No, it won't. So at this point, you just remove the.
Unconscious, and he has
Yeah,
like
it should,
one
because
hit
isn't
point.
it 10?
Yeah, I want to say 10 is the number.
Whoa,
Whoa,
God.
what the hell?
What did you do?
Hey, 623.
Apparently,
He is up and alive, man.
apparently fishmen are
Yeah, he's
really,
good.
really good at
Hey,
medicine.
there was a nat 20 in there too.
That lost at
Only one?
Atlantean medicine right there. Dang.
There's only
Yeah,
one
only
for you.
one.
Oh,
There's
there's
not Bragdorn.
1, 2, 3,
There's a bunch of 19s.
4 ones in there, so
All right.
I was count 4 or 5 19s in there.
you start doing good and you sort of stab them a couple times just for good measure.
So,
Acupuncture.
am I unconscious still, or am I'm just stable, right?
No, you're stable.
Yeah, that would put you
have, like, one hit
unconscious.
point.
No,
Yeah,
he's
he
still
needs to
technically.
be healed.
And then there's a 1d4 for how many hours he'll be unconscious for. Provided that, nobody heals him.
I don't. All right, this is kind of how I feel about that. I just would say an hour. I mean, 1d4 hours. Me personally, for the sake of the flow and everything.
Yep.
He's unconscious for an hour. You guys give him some time to wake up, because, of course, I guess his unconsciousness is not like he just got knocked out, but he's kind of on the brink of death there. Sort of, I guess, because in my head it's halfway to death. For you to truly die, you have to have double negative. So you got your bell rung, but they kind of, hey, wake up. You kind of take an hour to sit and get your senses, but 1d4 has a prospect of it taking 3 or even 4 hours for that, and that's a long time.
Sounds fine to me.
So, an hour. So you guys, I would say you would probably bring him up. Of course, he is a.
I'm a
giant
very
dude.
heavy bull.
It's up
I mean,
to you. You can either
I'll
prop
just-
him up against the wall down here and give him try to carry him up the stairs and shove him through the trapdoor
I'm just gonna.
to get some fresh air. It doesn't really matter to me. Um,
I never
so
put a weight in there.
after that,
I mean, I can lift, push, drag, pull, whatnot, 540 pounds, so I should be able to move you.
that's true.
There you go.
You are a hefty dwarf fellow. Okay. Whoops.
And then I'll set about properly dealing with that vampire.
Wow, I am a strong little goblin. I can push 210 pounds. Look at
I don't think you can move any of us.
that. Probably not.
As Drakmir is kind of coming to and kind of like, Jesus Christ, what happened? And maybe you guys there's some water that Donovich offers him. And Ismark explains to the other of you, and he says, as you can see, this town is it's abysmal. It's constantly waylaid by plagues and beasts of all kind. And that is why I want to deliver my sister from this place. Take her somewhere safer. He said, and as soon as we're all recovered here, we can be on our way. But I think, I'm sure you've wondered a little more of why I really am so intent on keeping her safe. Obviously, you've heard mention of the devil Strahd. He says it with disgust, kind of, but not too loud. When he says the name, he kind of hushes a little bit. He says, "This devil Strahd, the plague upon these lands, for some reason has taken an interest in my sister." And at that, Donovich kind of doesn't want to intrude, especially because of what just happened. But he says, I agree with Ismark. If you can get her as far away from Castle Ravenloft, that would be best, I'm sure. He said, yeah, for some reason, our dread lord of our land here has taken an interest in my sister, and I want to get her as far away from him and his evil domain as possible. So you can understand in a town like this, especially being under the shadow of his keep, it's very difficult to have any semblance of safety. And during this, Irina is she's close, so she can hear you. She's kind of walking around the chapel, kind of checking things out or whatever. But at a few of their words, especially when he mentions Strahd and his interest in her, she kind of, but she doesn't offer anything into the conversation. She doesn't really feel like talking to him.
So why does Strahd have an interest in her?
For that, I wish I knew. I wish I knew. Maybe then we would know better how to either placate him or hide from him. There really is not much hiding from him, but again, Balaki is the safest place I know of to keep her.
Have you talked to him? Maybe asked him why?
No. we stay as far away from him as possible.
Does he smell or something? I mean, I'm sorry, I don't know much about the gentleman myself. I'm new here.
Yes,
Never heard of it.
that is quite evident. Yes, he's been a plague on these men, constantly tormenting our town for whatever reason is whatever pleases him at the time. Uh, and again, there really is no reasoning with this tyrant.
Well, here's what I can say is if you need her away, we will take her away. But we still have what we came here to do. We have to find our way back home eventually ourselves.
I'm not sure. I mean, once people come to Barovia, they don't tend to leave Barovia.
Well, someone should have told that to us before we took our drinks.
That is fine. Here nor there, we'll figure that out when the time comes. What we need to do now is get her safe.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, we must. Yes. Also, it's nice to see you up and conscious again. You seem to take a pretty strong hit down there.
Yeah, that hurt.
So, he said, I don't really have much, and I hate to. I mean, the road is dangerous, but says, here, drink this. It'll help you feel better. And he gives you pours a little thing in a cup and hands it to you.
I sniff it.
Is it alcohol?
It's some kind of stiff concoction for the sake of D&D. It is a potion of healing that he's mixed in there with a little kind of a hot toddy looking type of drink.
I down it.
Yeah. You can go ahead and follow the potion of healing. I think it's
1d8.
Is it 1d8?
I think so.
For some reason I was
Or it
thinking
might be
2d4.
1d4.
I think it's 2d4 plus 2.
Yeah.
What was I thinking then? 1d8.
I'm not
You
sure.
said
Spell?
2d4?
Spell.
2d4 plus 2. Yep.
It is 2d4 plus 2. You can find it in the items section of the stuff. Eight.
Do.
So at that, you're feeling a bit better and everything. He
So
says,
it's wounds 2 then. Okay.
He says, I don't want to pester you by any means, but if at all possible, it's now midday. We really need to make it to our next stop by nightfall. If we can be going, that would be great.
Yeah, that's fine. You want to clear my status effect? I don't know if I can do that.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm just assuming we did properly take care of the vampire corpse, correct?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
So do we XP on that one? Or do you want to do that at the end?
I'll do all that at the end, so I'm not sitting here clicking around and
Okay,
and
that's
stuff.
fine. So are off to see the wizards.
The one. Well, I
Yeah.
tried to do something there and it did not work.
You
Words
failed.
are hard.
But actually, hold on one
I rolled a
second.
1.
All right, what's going on now?
Well, if that encounter allows you, I just thought if that allows you to level up, you would want to level up even if it is mid-session, correct?
How much
So you can be
experience was
better
found?
equipped and whatnot.
It's your call, man. You know what's
Yeah,
coming up
it's-
ahead. If we need it or not, it's on you.
Barovia is dangerous.
Yep.
Any help you can get. Let's see, XP. So if we did, and let me look at the encounter real quick. This shouldn't be too hard. I did look over our break since our last session. I did kind of look over XP and whatnot. And I did, by the way, I meant to mention this to you guys. I did give you guys each 100 experience for successfully calming and talking to Mad Mary.
Okay.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So I gave you a little bit of XP there.
Oh,
So
yeah, there it is.
let's-
Look at that.
Now, if I remember right, there's just a button you have to hit, right?
Yeah.
For,
I
for
just
him,
need-
it actually puts it in the party sheet.
Yeah.
Like he can, or well, he doesn't put it in the party sheet. I don't know exactly, but he can assign XP to the encounter, and then it would divide it up equally among us.
If this is going to take a minute, I'll be right back.
Yeah, that's fine.
The voices are talking to him again.
Mhm.
Cool. That's fine.
He can't hear you right now.
What's up?
Oh,
The
y'all.
encounters that are listed here are not alphabetical. There it is.
Oh Lord, yeah.
All right, yeah. So you guys will level. I didn't. Sorry, I didn't think of that. I was like, we'll just allocate it all at the end. But
The
you guys
next
level up.
was 900.
So yeah, if you guys want to take a few minutes to level up, we can. If you need to take a break or something real quick.
There's my traveling song for everyone.
What?
I just sent it in the D&D Discord channel.
Oh, gotcha.
Do. All right. So.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just. I remember how to do this. Modules, library.
Yeah, drag the class over to you. So what do I get at level 2? Cunning action. Nice. It's gonna help out a lot.
Oh, it's not letting me load the module that has my class in it. Or subclass anyway. That's okay. It doesn't matter until level 3, so.
I get one more first level spell. Yay.
I have 25 hit points.
I'm not too far behind you. Diagon's right behind you.
What's your hit points? Matt?
That did not add my constitution.
My hit points are 21.
Mine should be 28 with constitution.
We're not really going to get time to prepare, are we? So I get the extra spell, but I just can't prepare a new one yet. Right?
What is the ruling? If you level up, but you're in
Ooh,
kind of
damn.
rested.
Wait, you're a priest, right?
Yeah.
You don't prepare.
Okay. I am.
Priests just have spell slots and they can cast from their entire pool of spells.
Well, shit. I knew that.
Yeah, wizards are the
man.
only ones that take time to prepare. Your
That's
god,
all.
essentially, your god grants you
Yeah.
3 uses of his spells. Period.
Gotcha.
That's a lot of experience.
Yeah, so Jarl, what you do
Yes.
is you go to classes.
Yeah, I got the little
And
Oh, dude,
page
drag
I
open
the-
to
just
see
created a
experience.
cleric.
So
Yeah,
So
you
what do I-
drag the class over to your character sheet, and that will automatically level you up.
oh, I see. Go to the library, classes, warlock. Open that up and just drag it over.
Just
again.
just drag warlock onto your character sheet, and you'll see it class and level on the main sheet. It'll say warlock 2,
Ooh.
and it'll automatically give you whatever abilities you get.
And your updated HP and all that.
Nice. See.
So if it says my average hit points for additional cleric level added to Drakmir 7, did that not include my Constitution bonus?
It should, yeah.
Ooh,
That's arena.
damn.
Because as a cleric, when you level up, what are you? Is it a 1d8?
I gotta check on that again here.
Oh, excuse me.
1d8 per. So the average
Yeah,
would be
1d8. So it took the average. It took 5, and then it added
Added
your
the 2.
Constitution
Okay.
bonus. Yeah.
that's fine.
So mine is 9. So
Okay.
Okay.
So I've gained Eldritch Invocations, which are separate from spells, correct? Apparently. Oh boy.
yeah, I've got a Constitution modifier of +4.
And I gain a spell, so I gotta add that. And then, oh, okay, I can
Oh,
work on this in the background
you're
here.
just gonna use Eldritch Blast. I mean,
Well, it depends on what the invocations are. Those sound fun.
I don't
Where's
think
that?
those are damaging type stuff.
Invocations. One of them is. Well, one of them modifies my Eldritch Blast. Add my Charisma modifier to the damage.
Oh, okay. So the invocations are the ones that, yeah, you're definitely gonna want that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the invocations are what made your Eldritch Blast fucking super blast.
Oh yeah, because you can use your Charisma modifier instead of your
And then
Is
you
there-
get
intelligent.
the
yeah.
2 beams or the double the range, so you can reach like 120 feet or some stupid.
Yeah. Now, to add them to my character sheet, is that going to be
Okay.
like a drag and drop type thing, or is that going to be something I have to edit manually?
You're gonna have to edit that manually.
Okay.
So you'll go to the actions tab.
Yeah, and then I should be able to add my own little.
So what you'll do is just modify the existing spell.
Are invocations, because I'm pretty sure they're working a lot differently than 3. Are they permanent effects to it, or?
Yeah, they're permanent.
Ooh, okay, that's very different. Shit.
So-
okay,
So under spells, you're gonna find Eldritch Blast.
yes.
On the row that says cast attack, you're gonna click the magnifying glass.
Cast attack. Yep. Boop. All right. Oh, and then bonus, and then type in what the bonus would be.
Oh, no, I'm sorry, wrong one.
Ah.
It's the one below it under damage.
Damage. Okay. Aha.
And then under stat, you're gonna click until you find charisma.
Strength, dex, con, int, wisdom, charisma. All right, cool. And that should automatically add that on to the damage roll.
Yep.
Right.
Awesome. Okay. So I've taken that one. Now I have to pick one more. Neat. Cool. Well, I'll pick that and my last spell, and I think that's the only thing I got. Yeah, that's the only thing that changed up for me. So, cool.
Spellcasters spend all the time with their leveling.
Right.
We gotta pick all this.
I was like, hey, I got 20 actions, so I can choose what to do after my attack.
Okay, we're taking this one now.
Me, I dragged it, dropped, and I'm
Yeah,
done.
I mean that's it, right?
How would
I
I?
had to look up and see what exactly cutting action did, just to make sure that I.
How would
How do
I
you-
change where it says what the range of it is? Because
I
there's
don't,
one.
there's an info. Oh, so where do you change range at?
Yeah, because normal range I believe is 120 feet. There's one invocation I want to take that makes it 300. So I can basically stay very far away from things, and just.
I forget which one I took on the Lindifus.
So there's not really a range marker in like
Okay.
a thing for it in the game itself.
Yeah.
The
It doesn't determine range either. The game won't tell you that you're out of range. Or,
Okay, that's just something I'd have to do on my own.
Yeah.
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 Okay. Ooh.
Okay.
Wait, what's that? Never mind. Screw that one. I've
Just
found one much
remember-
better.
you can reach out and touch people.
Yeah. No, I found one much better. Eyes of the Rune Keeper. I can read everything. I can read all writing. I'm taking.
Oh no.
That. You don't want the goblin to be able to read everything in existence.
All
I
right.
think that would be a great thing.
I think we're good.
Yep. I just got some fiddling to do, but I'm pretty much good.
Okay. Okay. I've tried to pull up as much info as I can so this can go smoothly here. Okay. So again, as Mark says, asks if you're all ready to go. He says there's no time to lose.
All right.
That's directly asking you guys if you're ready to head out.
We
Oh,
are.
yeah.
Yeah, we're
Okay.
good.
Yep.
Are we taking the wagon?
He says I have no horses of my own.
It's
So
okay, we
unfortunately,
brought it all.
you have to set off on foot.
No.
You guys-
I mean, you can't. I'm just gonna turn to Drakmir. Can I sit on your shoulder, big friend?
No.
Do I need to use a command spell to have you put me on your shoulder?
No.
So you're gonna put me on your shoulder then, yeah?
Why can't you walk?
Tiny goblin legs, big distance. The
I'm
math
just gonna-
does not
I'm
equal.
just gonna start pushing him in front of me and start singing my forging songs.
So as you guys are kind of like veering back and forth like that, Ismark and Irina are kind of like, what's up with these guys? These outsiders are definitely weird. What an eclectic group you all are.
I mean, we've known each other for less than a week.
3 days by my count. 4 if you
Guys-
count the night we got drunk and
And
kidnapped.
yes,
Yeah.
she can milk the bull.
Oh,
Oh,
Whoa!
no.
What?
oh dear.
Hey yo!
Woo!
That was
Welcome
easy.
to D&D After Dark. I'm your host.
D&D.
Okay, so as you guys are
D&D
walking,
After
dark. As you guys start making your way out of town, at first it's there's still this, kind of awkward silence. You guys are still you've only been in town a few days maybe, and at most, and so everything's still very kind of new when they're not exactly sure. You guys aren't really sure of each other yet. So to break this weird awkward silence, Ismark speaks up and starts explaining and talking more about himself and Barovia and all that. And
So, have you ever tried to milk a bull?
but he starts talking and starts explaining. He says they say Barovians used to be a happy people, but I've never known such days. I've only known this Barovia that you see here. He says our residents keep to themselves and are slow to approach anybody. So, don't take our hospitality, to heart. Really, we do our best here. but we're slow to approach anyone, and it's even slower to place trust in people. Um, our numbers are dwindling, and we've all have our jobs that are expected of us, and to keep our meager economy alive, we do, believe it or not, help each other out. Um, but it's all under the pall of fear, and our children are taught never to stray far from home, certainly never to enter the woods, for evil definitely dwells there. I've only ever myself seen one other band of outsiders when I was a small boy. They seem to vanish as quickly and mysteriously as they appeared. Um, at that point, Ismark kind of stops, and you guys are starting to make your way into the countryside, and you're not quite in heavy forest right now, but it's kind of a little secluded patch of woods there. It's not a full forest, but you have a little what do you call that, glade, whatever, of woods.
Cops.
And yes, and off in the underbrush to the side, he stops and he looks, and um he sees you guys look kind of like, what's happening, and off in the brush you see there's a dark figure that's crouched low in the brush, just perfectly still, and you see that there's an aimed crossbow at you all.
All right, I'll draw my rapier.
So there's a moment of tension, and after, I don't know, I'd say a good uncomfortable 20 seconds, the crossbow lowers, and a few men step out from the bushes, and they seem to recognize Ismar. And he says, "Oh, hail, Ulbrich. You gave us a scare there." And he says, "Yeah, listen, we're actually looking for my brother, Alec. He's been missing for almost a week, and he seems pretty urgent." He says, he's been missing almost a week. Would by any chance, maybe, fortune has smiled on us bringing you our way today. Would you guys by any chance be able to help us look for my brother?" Another awkward silence. Ismark kind of explains to him.
Diagon like looks around him. Goes around. No, don't see him.
So, well, listen. You seem to have your mission, and we definitely have ours. So we have no time to lose. At that, wherever you're headed, we wish you safety. We must be off. And they disappear back into the woods. And you guys notice that Ismark had kind of stepped in front of his sister, kind of in a guarding manner. You guys, the tension really eases a little bit. You guys start making your way down the road again, and Irina actually speaks up this time. She says, "I'm really not a helpless human being. I can defend myself." And she says, "My appearance aside,
Defend, like we're defending you. I thought you were watching over us."
I mean, yeah, you look like you can defend yourself very well.
well," and she's kind of talking at how her brother had stepped in front of her, and she says, "I do know how to wield a blade, but, uh, you know, no one else has really, could really stand to even be around me. They didn't want to help me, or they didn't want to harm me because of this awful, just attention and oppression from that." And she points back towards where the castle was. But she's kind of obstinate in her tone. She says, "You don't need to jump in front of me at every sight and sound that comes from the bushes, Ismark." And he kind of, well, our job, and we brought these people to protect you. Anyways,
Ma'am,
at that,
you you have family that's trying to protect you, and that's something that not everyone has. So maybe appreciate what you've been given.
She kind of goes, yes, but as long as it's understood, I'm not completely helpless. And it kind of Ismark and Irene kind of bicker back and forth as you guys make your way up the road. As you guys are making your way down the road, the sun is starting to kind of sink in the west, but it's not. It's maybe mid afternoon now. You guys had stopped for just a brief break, and just to kind of readjust your packs and your gear, and take a second to sit down, maybe drink some water. Um, at this point, you're just a couple miles outside of Barovia, and you're in the countryside, so you don't have a city around you, but there are uh, every once in a while you'll pass large farmhouses with some sprawling land, sparse livestock, uh, with big fenced-in properties and stuff. And while you guys are on a break here, and you guys are kind of just taking a load off for a second, Ismark again is telling you a little bit about his the land in Barovia and all that, and then he stops himself and he says, "By the gods, what is my sister doing?" And you look, and you see maybe 100 yards away is Irina, and she's actually down on a knee talking to two small children. And so Ismark gets up and he rushes over to her, and now the two of them are talking. You're not really sure what they're saying, um, but if you guys want to move in closer, um, let's see. Yeah, no, I won't make you guys give a check or anything for that. Hmm.
Yeah, I'll move in closer. I'm curious.
Yeah, okay. Trying to give me a second here.
Okay,
Apologies.
you're good.
Okay. So you guys kind of scramble and pick yourselves up and kind of run to catch up with Ismark and his sister. And you notice that she is stooped down on knees. She's talking to these two children. And Ismark says, "What are you doing?" And you notice that she's at the end of a gravel pathway, and you look down this pathway, and it's leading to an estate that uh, is quite impressive, and it doesn't seem to be in as much disrepair as some of the other uh, buildings that you saw back in town. Um, so uh, you notice though that there's a older girl, maybe about looks to be about 7 years old, and then a younger boy, and they're both crying, and they're both definitely upset, and the girl is trying to shush her little brother. Um, and Irina looks back at her brother and she says, "These children," and he says, "Please, we have to." He said, "Irina, we have to keep going. We need to pick up and move. We've only got so much daylight left." And the little girl speaks up and she says, "Please, there's a monster in our house. Our parents locked it in the basement, but they haven't come back up." And Irina says, she says, "We have to help them. These poor children." And Ismark says, "Please, there's no time to delay. We have to go. We have to make it to our next stop before nightfall." And she says, "If we do nothing," she stands up and she gets a little intense with Ismark, her brother. She says, "If we do nothing,"
And I interrupt and
what
I go,
separates
"We are
us?"
no different than what they are."
I'm just gonna take the axe off my back. Let's go.
We're no different.
We are
not
no different
exact-
from the monsters.
She says, "Well, regardless, I'm going to help them, and I don't need your permission, pointing at Ismark. And she takes the
Y'all
children.
gonna work this out at some point, this brothers.
I'm just gonna walk in between them and hold up 2 daggers. Y'all want to talk about this the old goblin way?
She's making her way definitely to the house. Ismark stands there for a minute and looks at you guys in kind of a like. What do you want me to do?
I follow her.
I have
Yeah,
a giant grin on my face. There's
Yeah,
monsters.
he's just kind of like, what do you want me to do with this handful? Obviously, this is why I need help. I mean, like, you see my struggle here.
I'm gonna start following you, but real quick question: is Ismark armed? Like, does he have like a sword or something on him? Does it look like
he's not armed like a soldier, but
I mean,
yeah,
but
he is.
Okay. I was just gonna offer him a dagger since we're basically leaving him in the middle of the street right now.
Let's see here. He should have. Yeah, he's armed. Actually, fairly decently. Yeah.
All right then.
Okay. Okay, so you make your way towards this house on yet another detour for this Irina lady that you just heard about recently. Let's see here. Let me bring this down here. And let me give you guys the map. There we go.
Ooh, a front view.
And you look all the way down at the bottom. There's the very bottom bit of the first floor. Nice.
Oh.
So it's children's house. How lovely.
There we go. Okay, as you're walking up to the house, there's a wrought iron gate with hinges on one side and a lock on the other, and it fills the archway of a stone portico. The gate is unlocked, and its hinges again kind of shriek when you go to open. When she opens the gate, so you're about halfway up, but it's a very long driveway. So she's still about 75 feet from you all. And you hear the gate shriek on its hinges. As you approach, and she has disappeared inside with the children at this point, you walk up to the porch, and from in the porch there, hanging by chains, are some oil lamps that are hanging there, that are unlit, that are flanking a set of oak doors that when you open them, and you open the door, and it's a grand foyer. So let me, oops. There we go. So the door hadn't quite completely shut behind her, so you open the door to head into the house. And hanging on the south wall of this foyer is a shield emblazoned with a coat of arms that's stylized with a golden windmill with on a red field. Flanking that are framed portraits of like really stern, kind of stony-faced aristocrats, and then mahogany framed double doors that lead into the next room. And on these doors they are set with panes of stained glass.
I'm gonna. If she's gone in, I'm continuing to follow.
I want to stealth first. I want to not stealth, but I want to be cautious. I don't want to just burst in.
That's exactly
That what I just
my
explained is actually that room there. So that's the you guys are kind of in the atrium there, and then that next room that I just revealed, that's your grand foyer right there. So okay, I'm sorry. And you said, as far as what you were doing next?
I'm just being careful.
Ragnar and I are basically following the arena.
Okay, so at this point, you're not really sure where she went because there's no sign of her, and it's kind of it's like I said, it looks like it's actually more lived in than the other houses that you had rats or crazed villagers in there. This is actually a full estate, and it seems like it's been lived in a bit more. But again, there's no sign of Irina now. There's no sign of her or which way she went. But there is just one door ahead of you.
So we go through the door.
Yes.
Yep.
You go. You open the door, and there's a wide hall that runs the width of the house here. It has a black marble fireplace at one end, and a sweeping red marble staircase at the other. It's a very upscale home.
And it goes up,
Mounted on-
correct?
I'm sorry?
Goes up.
Yes.
Okay.
Mounted on the wall above the fireplace is a longsword with a windmill cameo worked into the hilt. So it's the same stylized windmill that you saw back in the entrance there. The walls have neat wood panels on them, and they're actually ornately sculpted with images of vines, flowers, nymphs, and satyrs, all kind of you get kind of a mystical, kind of almost druidic nature feel to it. Let's see. Go ahead and give me a perception check. Everybody can give me a perception check.
Now you're making me work. Jeez.
Roll dice in D&D. What?
I think that pie is still affecting me, man.
So, as you guys are kind of looking around this grand hall here, Bragdorn and Drakmir, you guys are kind of peering at the walls, looking at the intricate, ornately the ornate sculpted images in the wood, and you actually you notice that kind of almost as an illusion, optical illusion, the way that they're sculpted, you actually can see that there are serpents and skulls that are inconspicuously woven into the design of the wall. And then the decorative paneling that follows, it follows up the staircase on the side of the staircase as well. You see across from you as you enter the door, there's another door directly ahead of you, and there's a door off to your right, and so there are two doors across from you and one to your right, and a little alcove. It will not let me. There we go.
Well, we're looking for the
See there.
basement because the kids said they were in the basement. So
Yeah.
So right now in this room, the stairs only lead up. Let me actually give you guys some representation here. Who was that? And then we still need Bragdorn.
get off me. Which way do you think's gonna go down? I mean, there's this room off to the. So there's a door here, right?
Yes.
Screw it! I pop the door open.
Okay. So you open the door. This seems a little less creaky than some of the doors. It's a little brighter in here, and a little less. So you open the door to this room, and this looks like a hunter's den. There's mounted above the fireplace on the the compass is weird. South wall there. So actually north is to our left if you're looking at this map. On the south wall there is a fireplace, and mounted above the fireplace is just a magnanimous stag head, just a trophy of a deer above this fireplace.
I'm gonna lean to Jack.
Positioned
cousin
around the
of yours.
outskirts of the room there are 3 stuffed wolves as well. 2 padded chairs, draped in animals fur, face the hearth, face the fireplace, with an oak table between it, that actually has a cask of wine and 2 carved wooden goblets on it. Has a pipe rack on it and a candelabra. It's very well to do. A chandelier hangs above a cloth-covered table, surrounded by 4 chairs there on the west side of the room.
This doesn't go down.
Oh, there are also. Let's see. Hold on. Did I read this? There are 2 cabinets that stand on each wall, side of the east and north. Yes, so you can kind of see them there in the picture there. But one is basically right in front of that door when you open. There's one left on the east wall as well, and that's the room that you see. It's a lot of words. It's a very upscale place.
My thought is that we need to figure out where she went to, so we need to move on to another room since there doesn't look to be any staircases.
I'm gonna open this door, if that is a door.
Okay. Open to find that this is just a cloakroom. Like, this is basically, may I take your coat, sir? It's got a little rack in there for cloaks. There are a couple just kind of overcoat looking, fairly well embroidered with fur around the collar there. A couple coats hanging in there.
I'm going to put one on.
Do it.
Yeah, I want to look fancy.
Oh god.
So I'm just gonna, boop, I'm just gonna pop on one of them fancy looking, for normal people, overcoat. For me, long draping cloak.
Yes, for you, you put it on. It smells a little dusty, but you put it on, and it kind of falls down, and then you've almost got like a train, behind you. It's maybe a little too big for you.
Axe has learned
Actually,
polymorph.
dog.
Anyway,
Amazing.
the next logical place for me is this little alcove here and opening up one of the. Is there one door there or 2?
Sorry. There is a door off to the right. So you have a door in front of you.
I'll swing the one to the
off
right.
to the right.
Yep, I'll open the right one first.
Okay.
I know Diagon is just like kind of cautiously looking around at everything.
Okay. Well, as of right now, you open that door to your right there, and it seems to be your average kitchen. So it's a kitchen. It's tidy. It's got some dishware, cookware, utensils that are neatly placed on the shelves. It's got a work table with a cutting board, a rolling pin on top of it. A stone dome-shaped oven stands near the east wall, and it has one of those bent iron stove pipes that connects to a hole in the ceiling. Behind the stove and to the left is a thin door that you see there on the east.
Still doesn't look big enough to be a cellar, so I'll open the one to the top of me.
Yeah. You open that up, and behind that door is a well-stocked pantry, and all the food in there actually it appears to be fresh. And give me let's see, if you are standing, you open that door. Actually, before you do anything else, give me a perception check. Or miss this here. Distract me. 8, 13. Okay. So actually, as you were kind of walking, you do a little once around of the kitchen, kind of taking it in. You still haven't encountered any inhabitants. So it's kind of strangely empty when you just saw children out in the driveway. But at the bottom right there of the room, there's actually another small little inset into the wall. It's a little 2-foot wide stone shaft containing a wooden box. It's I'm not sure if a minotaur would know this, but for all intents and purposes, it's a dumbwaiter.
Okay. It looks like Axe needs to cut this one a little short. I know it's not the optimal place to end for the night. But unfortunately, that's where it looks like we might have to stop it because something's happening.
Okay.
So.
All right. Hope all is well, man.
Yeah, I'll fill you guys in.
No worries.
Cool. So, guys, thank you for stopping by tonight. We do appreciate everybody who came by. It was an awesome stream tonight, guys. We will be doing this again very, very soon. And everybody just got all clustered in there, but that's fine. Thank you guys very much. We will see you guys again very soon. Keep an eye on our Twitter for our next episode. We will be doing it on Wednesdays, or we at least have been trying to do it on Wednesdays. And we will keep you informed when the next episode is. Thank you again very much. You all have a wonderful evening.